That I understand the different threads of the story here. So, um, presently,
Yes.
while you're wearing all these different hats,
Yes.
the journey so far uh, is you are part of the semi-final showcase. Is that right?
I am. So our journey started in February.
Okay.
On the 5th.
Mrs. South Africa
Yes.
is the pageant.
Mrs. South Africa.
I gotcha.
So,
and
yeah.
what's the road looking like from here?
So at the moment, because it's more like an MBA of life, right? So being a Mrs. South Africa means that we've got lots of different hats, and through our different hats, we can portray whoever we are uniquely, and still love ourselves and still be able to serve and give of ourselves to others. So our journey starts from the 5th to the 5th of February to the 5th of July. During that time, we actually have got 4 pillars.
Okay.
All right. So those pillars involve your empowerment or self-development. So we've got to be able to, we get a lot of workshops on who we are. And then the next one is community. So we actually present ourselves in community, our family, we go to where we actually serve in the community and we give back. And then it's empowerment. So empowerment is great for me because it's the sisterhood. And a lot of the time the sisters are not supporting each other. Like the brothers, they're always like, bro, we got you. And the sisters always look at each other critically. So this is a time where we also getting workshops on how we can actually teamwork and we can bring the sisterhood together and actually develop each other and love each other for their uniqueness. And then the last one is the platform. So the platform is who we are as a brand. And PR Works is actually partnered with us to be able to give us skills and equip us so that we can be ready for media, ready to be able to be confident so that we can actually share our story the correct way so somebody can capture the essence of who we are. And also, while we're going on that journey, we've got a lot of different brands that we represent. So that's like the schooling. So while we're representing those brands, we are bringing ourselves into that because we're real people living real lives and we need to bring those brands in. So we're learning along the way so much, more than I ever imagined.
I'm getting the picture now. Hang on 1 second while I just quickly promo the fact that we're getting into it shortly.
Sure.
Jacob Collier there, with a little help from his friends, and a track called Witness Me, and Gwen Stefani with her Boo Blake Shelton before that, Picking Purple Irises. And if you're just waking up and shaking up and heading out the door, welcome to it. If you're only just tuning in, it's the morning show on Radio Life and Style with me, Mike, in the morning. 20 minutes to go before we get to your next news bulletin at 8 o'clock. But before we get there, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be giving you a special interview. I like to introduce you to interesting, cool local people. And this morning, I'm going to be introducing you to Natasha Perrell, the semi-finalist 2024 for the Mrs. South Africa pageant. And the journey for her, where it's heading, why you should care, and how you can support. I'll tell you all about that coming up in the next couple. Don't touch that dial. And of course, it'll be on the other side of the little tune just after a quick little commercial break.
Ballito.
There we go. Alright, so we've got another one tune coming in to take us to where we need to be. Just make sure we're not overshooting with the time. Are the fans tuning in? Are they live?
Tuning in.
This is good.
Check out CMH Mahindra Ballito on Facebook for our latest deals. Visit our dealership at 35 to 37 Moffat Drive and embrace the extraordinary at CMH Mahindra Ballito.
Right, so we've got still about 3 minutes to go before we get into it. The way this thing works is super easy. We've got an ice cream cone floating in front of your face.
Oh, so
This is your one.
Wow.
We can pop these headphones on just before we get into the actual chat, and it's just going to be like you're in a helicopter or a light aircraft. We can hear each other nice and clear.
Perfect.
If you float away from the headset, everything sounds very faint. It just reminds you to
Okay.
get close to that thing. And as long as this thing's pointing straight up, and if you're nice and close to the fuzzy side bit there, actually someone just twisted this thing. So there we go. That'll get you perfectly. And then it's just going to be like this. Easy.
Yeah, cool.
Easy peasy. There's nothing to it.
Thanks.
But
Yes.
we'll start off by just finding out a little bit about who you are and the fact that you're local.
Yes.
That you're
Local is
Ballito
lekker.
based. Local is lekker. That you've got all these different hats that you wear, and you're on this journey at the moment. What is this thing? Because in the past we've had some top contenders in the Mrs. South Africa pageant from this part of the world.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think, a few years back we must have had, we've definitely had some previous contestants from this part of the world getting some attention.
Yeah.
But I'd love to find out why this pageant is relevant and why you think it's still got power in 2024.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't understand
Yes.
really
Why?
what the point of a thing like
you.
this is, and how, like you just explained, how it's a springboard and how it puts you in so many different ways,
Yes.
and how it's about celebrating real people,
Absolutely.
with all of the different facets that you have.
Yes.
But understanding then what that is, then explaining to us where the journey is at right now, how can people get behind you and support you as a local talent,
Awesome.
and if there's any portals or handles or pages you want to throw out there, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and we'll see how we're doing for time. We'll just keep it rolling kind of organically, but before you know it, like
It goes so
10 minutes is
I know.
so. As long as we can get from your side, I want to make sure that we get all the essential stuff out the way. Does that sound pretty good? Are there any other things you want to make sure that we get?
That's good. I'm just so grateful and honored that you could actually give me time, especially in this life where we actually start wondering what is relevant for us as people, and should we be putting certain things, there's a lot of changes happening at the moment, and there's true relevance to everything. But I was actually thinking about it this morning, and I was saying, with change comes fear. And fear grips everybody, and we all then want to retract, and it starts to create, especially with the young people today. Young people are starting to be influenced by certain things.
Yeah.
And if we are not keeping things basic as in basic humanity and respect, because everybody has an opinion to things. And so if people have an opinion, we need to be able to listen to them respectfully and just say, guys, wonderful, but how can we partner in understanding more? Because when we start opening ourselves to understanding, I think we can find a medium, right? Because then we all shifting the change together, because change has to happen.
I like this. I like this momentum we got. Pop those headphones on.
Yes,
Let's roll with it. There you go. From one of the Despicable Me movies or one of the Minion soundtracks there. Diana Ross with Tame Impala turning up the sunshine on a Monday morning. It is a sunshiny blue sky kind of Ballito day. And so welcome to it. Welcome to the morning show. Welcome to your Monday. You're with me, Mike, in the morning, coming to you live from the heart of Ballito. And before we get to the top of the hour, with about 15 minutes to go, I want to dive into our first interview of the morning and to introduce you to a local lady who is definitely making waves at the moment. She's on my radar. I want to put her on your radar. And what are we talking about? Who are we talking to, more importantly? Well, I've just been connecting off-air in studio with a local lady by the name of Natasha Perald. You may already have come across her. You might have seen her on social media, and you might be aware that she is currently as a local Ballito person representing the North Coast in the Mrs. South Africa pageant, which is underway. She is a semi-finalist for 2024, and I want to find out about this interesting journey that she's on. I want to find out a little bit more about her as a person, and she's in the studio with me, so we're off to a good start right now. And Natasha, welcome to Radio Life and Style. Happy Monday. How you doing?
Thank you. I am absolutely fabulous. How are you?
Cool. You know, Mondays are never my best day, but they're better when I get to meet interesting local people.
Right.
And so I'm off to a marvelous Monday. Thanks for joining me for a coffee and a catch up as we get into the working week. And you are a very interesting lady. I've been trying to wrap my brain around all the different hats that you wear. Right now you're wearing a sash. In a business kind of suit this morning, and after this interview you're rushing off to go and juggle all kinds of things. So let's just quickly get an understanding of who is Natasha Perald, and you're just first off the bat, we've got to say you're a Ballito local, right?
I am a Ballito local, so I live in Bretton Hood. We've been here for the past 4 years, and I am it's like I just moved in yesterday, because every day is absolutely amazing. It always feels like we're in the best city of the world, but that's being biased.
Well, you moved in the middle of COVID, hey?
I did. We moved, bam, right at the beginning of COVID, and we were so blessed because we got to be with our family, and I think it reconnected us to the spirit of love and finding who we really are, because we needed to re-establish who are we as people, and it was a wonderful time for us to get to, because we've got a very big family.
Well, this is the thing, in the midst of all that chaos and disruption, there was a moment to, as you say, kind of cocoon and connect, one of the hats that you wear obviously is mom, right?
Very much so. So so Natasha Perald, I'm 46 years old, and I have got an amazing husband who we've got 3 kids from him, and I've got 2 kids, so we've got a blended family of 5 adult children, which is such a blessing because they're each so special and super unique. So we've got to juggle ourselves between the psychology of loving each one uniquely, and that's him, I think, being the grounded, dedicated father, and he loves his family so much, so we can't but just be ourselves.
Well, look, obviously that's a big part of this journey that you're on right now, is being the most authentic version of yourself. We're going to get into the reason why you're wearing the sash in a second, but before we get there, you've got a whole nother dimension, which is your work life, that whole space. What are you involved in work-wise?
So I'm a nursing sister by profession. I do a lot of theatre, cardiology, especially in cath lab. But since I've moved out of nursing, I'm actually a salesperson, but new business development for South African Medical Services. This is why I'm dressed up, because I'm ready to go to work. And the wonderful part of that is that we get to meet incredible people who are saving lives every day, the true superheroes, because the medical field, they don't advertise what they do. They just do what they do because they love it. They absolutely, I mean, I talk to doctors all day long, and I get to think, wow, these people don't even think about, when am I going to see my family? What time am I going to eat? When am I going to have holiday? They just come to work and they say, I'm going to deliver a baby today. Let's get ourselves prepared, because we're going to help somebody start their lives better. So we come in with our devices, and we're able to assist them so that they can be able to do better work efficiently and serve the community. So it's a very special job for me, and I'm very, very grateful that I can be part of that.
Well, obviously it's something that's close to your heart, and an area that you're passionate about shining a light on.
Absolutely.
And therein, I think, lies some of the power of this other space that you are inhabiting, which is you're now on this pageant journey, and figuring out how to leverage your own influence, your own platform, to shine the light on causes that possibly aren't getting the recognition they deserve. Tell me about the Mrs. South Africa pageant, What is this thing, and why do you think it's relevant in 2024 right now?
Thank you. Very, very, very true question, and I appreciate that. So, Mrs. South Africa, coming from a professional background, one thinks, why do we want to go into a beauty pageant? So when I heard about it, which a friend actually reminded me, she's a school friend, she reminded me, sent me a message on Facebook and said, Tash, would you like to enter Mrs. South Africa? I'm like, Mrs. South Africa, gee, okay, wait. But when I Googled it, I actually checked that I saw every woman. And if you just the word every woman, it means that any woman from every background, from every story, who is married, and married means you're wearing different hats. With that, I started to think that, I'm not forgotten, because I remember that I actually wanted to do this. I wanted to be an ambassador, a voice of hope to many people, because when I grew up, life was very struggled, and life is always struggling, we always have that. But I didn't see myself that where I came from, that I would actually share hope in life. But when I was given a second chance in life, and love kept on flowing into my life in so many different forms, through people, through places that I've been, I said I have to share that there is hope and there is life when we start to love ourselves. So Mrs. South Africa platform, we were introduced to it as a platform where women can actually have 4 pillars. So the first pillar for me is self-development, where we actually are given workshops on how to embrace who we are uniquely and keep on understanding that, and get to a place where we actually self-assured, because self-assured means that you can show your love more. The second one is community. The fact that we can actually have our homes, our lives, our work life, we can connect to the community and give back to the community. Sometimes in our work life, in our daily lives, we can't do it, but there's people who can. So we can use this platform to actually connect with those people, and use this platform to bring other people on our journey with us. Then there's the empowerment. So the sisterhood. We were chatting earlier, and I was saying, brothers always are like, yo bro, I got you, we got the brotherhood, and it's so easy. But with women, it's not that easy, because we're always competing or judging ourselves against each other and saying, why is she doing this, or look at her. Now we actually are intentionally coming together as sisters and celebrating each person uniquely, and saying, how can we actually work together? How can we celebrate this so that other people can catch that light and that fire? And then the last one is platform. So the platform for me, because it's an MBA of life, I've been taking it so intentionally, because the platform is partnered with us. They've given us a lot of support on how we can be able to be the best brand that we can be, and actually partner with people and collaborate with people, and then develop our own brand. My brand that I did develop in last year, if I may touch on that, it's called Thrival, and I didn't have the skill or the knowledge on how to bring across Thrival. Thrival meaning that we don't just survive. We don't go kicking and fighting for the rest of our lives. We come out of that. So how can I get people from out of survival mode into thrival mode? That means that this journey is going to be able to help me to develop that brand, to give the spirit of love. Let us thrive.
Wow. Look, this is something, it sounds like there's a whole interview waiting to be done just on that. And so we're probably going to have to line up another one. While you are in this moment, though, this all sounds absolutely fantastic. It sounds like, obviously we'd love to see you go all the way to get the crown. But it sounds like that just being on this journey, you're winning already.
Yes.
And for those that are listening who are moved in some way and who want to find out more about you, about your mission, the causes that are close to your heart, and to help you on this road that you're on to get as far down as you can, and to hopefully make it all the way to being right there up on the stage in the finals. Right now, as a semi-finalist, how can folks connect with you, support you on your journey, get behind you?
Thank you so much. So we've got the platform Mrs. South Africa. So if you follow Mrs. South Africa pages, you will see that there is a voting platform. So if you vote Natasha Peril to 47587, we can get lots of SMSs going. You can like, you can share. We've also got lots of opportunity where you can actually look at our posts and like and share and comment. We've got on the 5th of July coming up is the showcase. So I would love to, everybody, the showcase is in at Empress Palace. So if you are able to attend, please use my entrance code. It's Natasha Peril, so easy, just use my name. And yeah, come and enjoy the fantastic celebration of womanhood. Women stop believing in themselves when they become a certain thing, because we truly want to give everything. But now we can balance that because we're learning skills that we can be able to be everything for everything that we would like to be in our family and our community, and bring hope.
Well, listen, this is the kind of interview I like to start the week with. Something positive, something hope-giving. And my special guest in the studio with me, if you've just been catching the tail end of the interview, Natasha Peril, a lady with many different hats on. Right now we're talking about the journey she's on with the Mrs. South Africa pageant as a semi-finalist for 2024. And I urge you to check her out on social media, follow her pages, and check out the Mrs. South Africa page on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you can, and read a little bit more about her story, get behind her and her mission at the moment, find all the details, the SMS deets, and let's try and get our local Ballito, North Coast Mrs. South Africa semi-finalist all the way. Natasha, best of luck to you with this exciting chapter that you're in at the moment. And looking forward to chatting again really soon on Radio Life and Style. What do you say?
Really love this. Thank you, and I'm wishing you a blessed and fabulous week ahead.
Yay! There we go. On a Monday, you're catching it right here on Radio Life and Style. Coming in next, your 8 o'clock news on the other side of a quick little Whitney Houston tune. Something to dance to on a Monday.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
Well played, Natasha. Are you in a rush?
Yeah.
Have you got a moment?
I've got a moment.
Because we need to get a photo.